And Ian, you just brought back your Gundam.
I've returned from Anaheim Electronics, where we have finished our development on the RX-78-2.
Yeah. Do you want to take center stage? And I need a break in the co-pilot's chair. Graham, how you doing? You need a break?
I'm okay.
Do we want to head over to the document area?
Yeah.
I'll throw mine down,
Mm-hmm.
and then we get to see what Ian's hard work has wrought, and the different levels you can check out.
Yeah, if that's the highest resolution we got, then let's do it.
I think they're all the same resolution, but that'll let you get closer.
That's the important thing.
Bone the zone.
Take that over to the bone zone. I am going to top up my water.
Yeah.
We'll be co-pilotless briefly, and it'll be all
They can
good.
cross beam swords.
Short.
What even gets left here?
Oh, cool.
Take us to the bone
I
zone.
like some of those.
Just move those olives to the side.
So this is what I built on the left. As you can see, no panel lining, no paint, no cleaning up the lines, and then I'll get out of the way for Ian's beautiful piece. Whoa.
So you can see there's a significant amount of difference in terms of definition on the parts, especially when you get into the areas like the knees here. You can see that the panel lining really picks it up.
Yeah.
And just a few decals, like on the shoulders here, and on the knees, on the shin, and on the side of the head, and especially in the beam sabers.
That's so cool!
I feel like that. Yeah, it really makes it pop a little bit more for not much effort at all.
Do we actually have the Cam Raimi handy as well? I'd love to get some like real close-ups if we could. They look amazing even from this distance.
Yeah.
The panel lining makes them look like real life cartoons.
Yep.
That's
I'll
really
I'll leave
cool.
them here for Sam or for Cam Raimi to get a.
As like
looking
a
at-
level up of that, there's a whole sort of like minor genre of gun builders who use like panel lining markers to shade the whole panel.
Yep.
Oh.
And create like light streaking and stuff on them, so they look like there's like cell animated.
That's so
That's
cool.
They're
amazing.
really cool.
I
Oh
really like
yes,
it.
and it might not be evident from what you're seeing
Over
there,
the bone zone, yeah.
but the one on the right is significantly going to be less shiny than the other due to the matte coating. Unfortunately, I've discovered one of the problems with this particular type of gunpla, and that's that the waist joint is not exactly secure. So the bottom half made a tumble all the way down the stairwell, and I'm borrowing one of the feet from one of the other kits.
Yeah.
Well, I can hardly tell. But man, yeah, wow, the panel lines look amazing.
The capillary action was very cool to see in action.
Panel lining.
Yeah, that makes a huge
Panel lining
difference.
is usually the first like extra detail set that people will do, and Ian did it with liquid. But if you are worried about liquid and having to use toner or like acetone and stuff to remove it and clean it up, they make what are called Gundam markers that are essentially ink markers, and that's what I use because also my hands are too shaky for brushes typically. And you just kind of follow the lines with a pen, and you can wipe off the excess with your thumb or a Q-tip, and that'll immediately level up how it looks.
Yeah. It's absolutely the best way to get started in panel lining too.
Yeah.
And it is such a small cost investment, small time investment, and it's very forgiving, and it makes your kit pop.
So Jordan put his together in like 8 minutes,
Yes.
which is totally fine and cool. But Ian took, I don't know, like 90 minutes?
Was it that long? Was it that?
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
about
know.
right.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that's yeah. 90. Yeah, we saw 9:30 when we got out there. So
Yeah.
roughly 2 hours.
And look what you can do with that. Look at that's amazing.
And like as you get closer, you will see more of the imperfections on my side from just popping the pieces out,
Right
not
there,
erasing.
right there on your cheek.
Yeah,
There's a little
the
nub there.
cheek. You can see the nub. You can
The
see
nub mark there.
The seam joint or the
Zoom in on his shame.
show my cheek. So that was wait, I already did that. So that was.
Yeah, that's why we're holding the beach up.
I appreciate. Thanks, Beach, for covering my ass. That's where you can see where I pieced the two parts together, and I didn't clip this out, so there was just excess plastic. We go over to Ian, and it's much more of a solid seam that also is further helped by panel lining and shaving down the excess plastic that was left over.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
With a bit more time, I would be a lot more cleaner with the lines. and a lot more consistent, but given the time I had to do all those levels and do a top coat on it, I feel good.
Yeah, you
this
speed
is-
ran that
yeah.
that level of detail.
And this is on like a promo kit. Like this is meant to be a very
Yeah.
snap together. There's not a lot of lines to panel lines, so a lot of that's kind of almost freehanding from the inside.
Yeah.
As you get higher up in detail, there will often be more obvious panel lines that you can follow to really make it work. Those decals look great.
Oh, they do. Do you want to make them really scared though, Jordan?
What's that?
The real pros
Oh yeah.
don't stop with that. They'll cut their own panel lines into the
They sure
plastic.
will.
Yeah, do
Jeez.
custom scribing into the plastic to
Yeah.
create their own panel lines.
This is so cool.
I love how low you can go to how high.
Yeah.
There's low floor, high ceiling.
That's what I was
That's my
thinking.
favorite kind
Yep.
of hobby.
when
Yeah.
you were talking about the like as compared to another kit, it's like it's got a lower floor for entry, but the ceiling is infinite.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was talking with Jordan about what we could do with the other kits, and I'm thinking, with just a little bit of a drill, we could make a Gundam Centaur with leftovers.
There is a Gundam Centaur.
I know.
Yes, I've made the Barbatorus.
Yeah, the Barbatorus exists.
It's a centaur.
Too,
Alright.
I really like with the advent of 3D printing, the Asian ball jointed doll hobby is starting
Yeah.
to trend towards more the lower floor. The ceiling's still
That's so
very
nice.
high, but
Yeah.
more and more people are now being able to, because it used to be a really prohibitive hobby to get into, but now people are printing and modeling and sculpting their own, and it's really
Yeah.
flourishing
Nice.
into an interesting place.
And like
3D printing has made like modifying kits way easier. So like I've
Oh,
complained
yeah.
that like one of the big things I want Bandai to release
Thank you,
is
Jason.
the MG Leo.
Thank you, Jason.
There are plans online that you can get where you buy the MG Tall Geese and then 3D print
print the
custom
other
parts
pieces.
that modify the size of the parts and give it the equipment of the Leo, so that you can actually just build a Leo in 1/100 scale.
You wouldn't
Matt-
download a Gundam.
I have
Try
on
me.
my hard drive. I purchased the files necessary for resin printed
Colin
pieces
won't take picture.
to convert an RX-78 into the Nether Gundam. The windmill Gundam.
Nether wind.
Love the Nether Gundam.
It's a good thing I recently picked up Lego again, or else
Yeah.
I'd be very tempted. But I just simply don't have the space to store
Windmill
assembled
slam Nether Gundam.
Yandhams.
I know
doesn't
I've told
stop.
you. I know I've told you before. There's a Penelope Gundam.
I know.
It's
I know.
even bigger than most regular
Yeah.
Gundams because it's like the biggest mobile suit.
Because sometimes 1/144 scale,
Still takes up a room.
if the scale is bigger, like the Archangel launch hangar is only 1/144 scale, it holds other Gundams to launch them. Like
I
What does Penelope Gundam look like? Is it that one?
That.
It's
That's so
Ooh.
big.
messed up.
Yep.
we need
big
a scale shot with it next to like the RX-78
Or a
but-
banana.
or a banana.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Or human Penelope.
I've said a few times that
Penelope
one of the kits I want is the GP03 Dendrobium, but instead of just the Stamen, which is the
The mobile
Gundam,
suit.
I want the full like mobile armor that it pilots, and in just high grade, so 1/144 scale, that kit when assembled is 41 inches long.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
And now, is that counting the barrel?
That includes
good,
the
yeah,
barrel
Thank goodness.
and the thrusters out the back. But yeah,
Yeah, if
Yeah.
I could get like the Freedom with the Meteor unit, I'd be very happy, but it would be huge. Also, God, that tall.
that tall
I
geese
love
mod is
that tall
hilarious.
geese mod so much.
It's so good.
Every time I see it, it gets me.
I love it.
Honk. Honk. It's a honkdom.
It is the Universal Century, and you are a terrible Gundam.
Well,
Technically,
actually,
it's
that would be the
after
after
Colony.
war, after Colony 195.
I appreciate the joke. Good.
Good job, Graham. You made the nerd.
Oh, goodness. Hey, we got 14.5 minutes
Yep.
on that giveaway. Get yourself some enormous magic cards.
Thick.
There's 5 of them, and they're each a meter tall.
What's the scale?
Thick. The
That's a
scale is thick.
544.
There you go. Thank you.
I want to see somebody put together like, well, I guess 2 whole decks of these, so they could have a game.
I'm good, but thank you.
Let's have them flank the TV in the back. there.
Yeah.
I quit.
You know, like the
was
giant
gonna
chess
just-
sets they have in malls.
Yes.
Yeah, giant magic tournament.